Guys, this is Firestream. I am the creator and main developer of Galaxy Warfare, and I just wanted to take a minute and show you around, especially if this is your first time playing, to try to help you out in terms of knowing what to do and where to go to make your experience a little better. So, if you just joined the game, what you're going to do is you're going to sign in, and the first thing before you can actually start playing is you're going to have to choose a faction. Now, it's totally up to you. It's your choice. All of the factions are equal in terms of power and abilities and systems. It's just more of a personal preference. They do have a different storyline depending on which faction you choose, and they do change frequently as far as the members in each faction. So I'm using a demo account, and I'm just going to go ahead and pick the Tarai Republic. We're going to join this faction so we can actually start playing. So, are you sure you want to become a member of the Tarai Republic? Yes, I'm sure. Now, you can always change this again later on. Alright, after you have joined your faction, what you're going to see is that the game has put you on your profile. Now, we're also trying to give you some getting started tips to kind of help you get going a little faster, because there is a lot to figure out and learn in this game as you go. Now, don't be too overwhelmed by the UI. There's a lot going on, and we are working every week trying to make the interface better and easier to use. But there's a lot of important information that you want to be able to see at a quick glance, and that's why there's so much. So let me explain a little bit about what's what. At the top, you've got a chat section, and by default, you're in the global chat, which means everybody is in here. So I can just go up here and just say something real quick. And there's probably a few players who will reply and say, how's it going back to you? This is a really good place to ask for help. Now, your faction that you joined, the Tarai, they have their own chat right here that's private to just the Tarai. You'll see that Hal9000, who's one of the game bots, he actually will post item codes that you can grab. So if you see an item code that looks like a weird code, what you do is you copy and paste it up here in this box. And if you're quick enough, you'll get a cool item for it. Hey, somebody said something to us. Look at there. Alright, now as you play, eventually you'll join a fleet and you'll have your own chat here. And you can join custom chats. There's actually a trainees chat where new players can all talk together. Okay, so let me close this up so we can look at some more parts of the game. Right below the chat is your mission bar. And every day and every week and every month these change out. And they give you kind of missions to go on, and they reward you pretty nicely. And right below these 3 missions, you're part of a league, and so based on your level, you'll show up in different leagues. So right now, since I'm just starting out, I'm in the novice league, and my power rank is this, my ships destroyed is this, planets claims this, credits, etc. Power is your strength in the game. Now, right below your league bar is the planet control bar. This essentially shows which faction is winning the game currently. At the moment, the Earth Empire is pretty dominant. They're controlling 32,000 planets. The Rogues not doing so well, only at 2,600. Then you've got the Tarai, which is what my account is in. And then you've got the Talarians. Now the Talarians are sort of the final race that you earn the right to join a Talarian as you play. So most of your players that you're playing against will not be Talarian. There's only a very small subset of people that can become a Talarian. Alright, so next thing you'll see is this console right here. This will show information as you're playing. It'll show the items that you find on planets. It'll show people attacking you, traps, warping through black holes, all kinds of stuff. Next to that, we've got this get it starting thing. This actually changes out depending on your level to try to give you more tips to help you, progress in the game without having to do a whole lot of figuring things out. Now we're looking at your actual profile. You see all your general profile information, your avatar. You can actually go in and change your characters. So I can go in here and let's pick a guy. I don't know who I want to look like. Somebody cool. Let's go look and be this guy. Okay, so we got our character. Let's go back to profile. And okay, right below your console, the next thing you'll see is an alert window. This alert window will change out depending on every time you level up, or if someone sends you a message, or if there's an announcement you need to see. You can always just clear this out. Keep on going down. There's some more information about your league. general information about your account. Here's your ship with all the ship stats and levels. And as you get more ships in the game, they'll appear here: missions, quests, salutes, and reset history. Now, I know that's a lot to see. So what you do first is you go into Galaxy. This is where the bulk of the game is played. Now in the Galaxy, you'll see you're on a grid. It's an XY grid. X goes across the top, Y goes down the side. Now everybody starts out in pretty much the same little area, and so you can see there's a number of other players who've spawned into the game, and they're actually not playing at this moment, so they're just sitting here. But to move around, you just click. So here I am. I'm moving over here by this planet. There's an enemy ship right below me. And go over here, there's another planet with a guy on top of it. Now, you'll also notice this little green line. This little green line is pointing you to the direction of the closest faction station. And that's a really important thing to come across, because your faction stations are where you can actually sell items that you found and also buy other items that you might need. Okay, so that's the real high-level overview of the grid. Now, let's talk a little bit more about the stats. Down here at the very bottom, you'll see kind of a quick stats bar that tells you what's going on. You got your EXP, your faction, your rank, how much money you've got, how many planets you control, how many items you're carrying, your hit points or hull points, and your fuel, and then tokens. And tokens are special. So tokens let you speed things up or respawn from death and keep all your items. They're very valuable in this game. Next thing you're going to want to do is go and look at quests. So in quests, it's going to give you some general quests to do, and then some Tarai, faction-specific quests as you get stronger in the game. There's also objective quests that maybe have you go and destroy a certain player or go to a certain planet. Now, the first quest in the game is a real easy one because we spawn right near this planet. Basically, it's telling us to go to 62-180, which is 62x 180y. Let me go back to here. If you look, oh, here's 62, here's 180. Oh, well, there's a ship on top of this planet, so if I was to actually click right here, I would end up attacking this ship. Because by default, when you click on another player, you're going to attack them. In this case, I can right-click on this guy, and I can say, push him, get him out of the way. Now I can go on top of this planet. Now what it wants me to do is it wants me to click here and share the game. So let's click it. Let's log in as somebody. And we'll share the game real quick. Okay, now we're done. Now we go back up to quests, and we hit complete. Give it just a second, and then you'll notice at the bottom, we've now got some more money, 100,000 credits. Oh, and also, if you go back to quests real quick, you'll see there's a new quest now. It's asking me to go find some resources, and once I find these things, I'll get this reward. So I'll go back to the galaxy, and we close this planet. Now I can go to another planet, and let's see what we find on it. Let's see. I saw one this way. Here we go. We'll go here. All right, this one's got aluminum, hull replacement, steel. So we'll press that button, get the resources from it. And while I'm at it, let me go ahead and show you what happens if you attack another player. So when you click on somebody, anybody, including your own faction, you'll end up attacking them. So let me click here, and you're going to see I've done sort of a stats battle, my ship versus his ship, and it's highlighting the stats that I'm ahead in. Now, instead of going back to the grid and then having to attack again, I can use this quick attack. If I'm lucky, one of these three will actually start attacking again without having to go back to the grid. That comes into play later on. It's very important as you get more systems. Let me click that. Oh, I failed, so it didn't work. So it's going to take me back to the grid automatically, and then I can click them again and attack. That time it worked, so you can see it's attacking again. So you get the hang of this pretty quick. Now that I have some money, what you're going to want to do is you're going to go over here to my ship. Under my ship, you can see here's the ship I've got, and here's all the different systems I've got. I've got my hull, sensors, engine, weapons, shields, storage. Your sensors is actually your grid size. So that's one of the most important things you can upgrade. So let me go ahead and upgrade that now since I have 50,000 from that first quest. Successfully upgraded sensor level. Now, when I go back to Galaxy, you'll notice my grid is much larger than it was before. The grid level can actually go all the way up to 5, and that lets you see a lot of space at once. It also lets you travel faster since I can click further out. So I can go all the way up here faster than I could before. You go back to where all these ships are. The other thing you'll notice is these little icons next to your grid. In this case, this icon means I can repair my hull. There's 3 levels of that repair depending on which items you've got. If your hull points were down, you're being attacked by some other enemy, you might want to repair your hull quickly, so you can just click this. You can also go down here and do the same thing at this stage. Okay, Now, while I'm down here looking at this, let me show you. Each of these things represent a different ship system that you can install to make your ship stronger. You got your deep space scanner, which will allow you to scan around you wherever you are in space. A cloaking device, which makes you harder to see. A warp drive, which is very important. This allows you to go from one point to another without having to click across the galaxy as much. Deflector shield's very useful as well. It increases your defense. It also decreases the amount of damage you would take against traps, asteroids, nebula, and any other things in space that could harm you. The construction arm is something that you can get that will allow you to build in space. And so what you'll see is eventually you'll join a fleet, or potentially you'll start your own fleet, and you could build a fleet base, fleet stations, storage pods, and traps. And more things are being added as we develop this game. Next thing on this list is the cartographer, which is essentially your star map. The cartographer will allow you to see every single planet, star, nebula, asteroid that you've come across in space. It'll also allow you to search for those items or search for planets. Very useful tool. The pulse emitter is useful because it will actually freeze players around you. That's a good offensive move if you come across someone and you don't want them to try to run away from you. The mag shock is a very powerful system. It's kind of a last-ditch effort system. It will actually damage every ship, including your own, a very large amount. And then we've got the hologram generator, which will let you create a clone of your ship in space, which acts as a trap. So if another player clicks on your clone instead of you, they get damaged. And then you've got the advanced scanner, which is an upgrade that you can buy that will actually add more little colored lines around your grid that point you towards certain things. Every one of these systems is very useful, and I'm going to have a video for each one in the coming future. Okay, so that's about it for this getting started. I know there's a lot to take in. I think what you'll do is you'll want to come in and start exploring around. Another thing to keep in mind is that space is not random. Every single thing in space, which there are 80,000 things in this universe, are in a fixed location that you can always come back to. So with that in mind, you may want to make notes on things that you find. What we've done to make that easier, we've got a little section called Captain's Log. So you can click here, and then you'll see you've got a little text area you can type in certain things. So I'm going to say there's some silver at 123,23. Now if you write your XY coordinates in this format, they'll actually automatically link, which is useful once you get a warp drive. Alright, that's about all I can talk about in this video. I'm going to do another video that shows you a bit more, but feel free to explore around. If you get stuck, just ask for help, especially in the global chat or faction chat. And you'll find a lot of players are willing to come around and help you out, especially if you're in the same faction as they are. If you're in a different faction, you may, get beaten up. Oh, one more thing before I go. You want to make sure you keep this in mind. Between level 1 and level 8, you are immune to ships that are above level 8. Other ships that are level 1 or level 2, etc. can attack you. But once you hit level 9, you are fair game to these bigger ships out there, and there are quite a few strong players in this game. So just remember that as you're exploring around, doing quests, and trying to get better at the game. And that's it for now, and I'll be coming back to you with another video explaining a little bit more about the game. Thanks a lot. Enjoy the game.